Famcast Media, bitch.
Seems like there's a lot of people in this country that simply just don't know what a woman is. Good evening, demons and demonesses. Got a couple hours before I have to head to work, so figure I might as well record something. Now, just recently, if you watch the news, we have a swimmer by the name of Katie Ledecky, who is now breaking records. Apparently, she's tied currently with Michael Phelps as winning the most gold medals. Now, this is amazing news. I mean, she's pretty much celebrated all throughout the East Coast right now. I think she's originally from Maryland, and she's basically like a celebrity for the state. And many people that live in the state of Maryland view her as, a hometown hero.
Today in Japan, another victory for Katie Ledecky. She is now America's most decorated swimmer, at least by one measure. Ledecky won her 16th individual world title, surpassing Michael Phelps for the most individual gold medals at the World Championships. Ledecky's victory in the 800-meter freestyle marked the 6th time she's won that event. That's also a record.
Amazing news, right? Well, some people aren't so happy, and the reason for their unhappiness is a rather dumb one. According to religious conservatives, it's impossible for Katie Ledecky to be a woman because she beat a man's record. So therefore, Katie Ledecky must be transgender. Let's read a little bit of comment, shall we? Another transgender person competing against women with male hormones. Definitely not a real comparison. Not hating against anybody, but they should just have their own section of the Olympics to keep it fair for other people. Phelps would swim circles around the dude looking like a woman because he was high and sleepy. Don't compare the two sexes. There is no comparison. Man. Yeah, a real biological woman wins in her sport. Congratulations. Update. Guess he's a man. I'll take back my congrats. When will women stand up for women? To quote Austin Powers, it's a man, baby. Puke, a dude won another woman's title. Where all the National Association of Gals at? All I read was man who couldn't beat other men cosplays as a woman to dominate and take women's records away from them. Noise. See, we're all just congratulating a biological male that couldn't cut it in men's sports, that said, oh, I'm a woman and now I can win. What is wrong with this word? Dude's hairline is retreating just like his pride as a man did. How do women really feel about former men competing with them? Another Austin Powers me. How original. Great. Another transgender gets to win at women's sports. It's unfair to biological females to have a biological male win the women's tournaments. What's up with all these chicks with dicks looking like dudes? Like, you can't even try to look like a girl. I'm no genius, but that looks like they were born biologically male. If she is trans, it's unfair to compete in female-only category. Possibly make an intergender league or trans league. I'm all for being accommodating to people, but at a certain point, we gotta rewrite the book. Now, after reading all that bullshit, I saved the best comment for last because, this is the only comment in this entire thread that had common sense. And believe me, they destroyed these clones. Good to see the freaks and losers of the We Can Always Tell crowd getting it wrong yet again. You'll never seem to get tired of embarrassing yourselves. Anyway, most importantly, congrats to Katie. This girl has been smashing records for a decade since she was 16. So the lesson that I've learned from listening to all these crazy religious conservatives, if a woman is too muscular, or too tall, or too athletic, or happens to be just as good or even better than a man at sports, then we have to question her gender. We have to question her biological sex. We have to question how she was raised. We have to question everything. This is the exact same shit that they did to Caster Semenya, because Caster Semenya is too muscular and she's too good at her sport, so therefore we have to do gender testing on her and we have to give her testosterone blockers or something. Or because apparently she's so good at the sports that she's in that we have to, nerf her down to make things fair for biological women. And that's the sad thing, is that, you hear so many of these religious conservatives claiming that they care about the rights of biological women, when they're literally looking at a biological woman and saying, oh, well, you're not woman enough. You look too manly. You're too muscular. You're too masculine. I'm looking at her pictures. I'm like, she literally looks no different from any other female athlete I saw. She looks exactly like an athlete. She looked like she works out in the gym. She looks like she trains every day. She looked like she worked hard to get those medals. But according to religious conservatives, if a woman does that, there's no way she can possibly be a woman. This is just absolutely sad. And this is what I mean by when I say that transphobia hurts everyone. And to be honest, I can even vouch for it, because it's even happened to me. It's one of the reasons why I had to put my pronouns in my bio, because so many people kept getting it wrong. They're like, oh, Kwame, you're not muscular enough. Oh, Kwame, your hips are so wide. Kwame, you don't have an Adam's apple. Mind you, I do have an Adam's apple. Oh yeah, I got to shave again. But like I said, religious conservatives always say the darndest things. And, this isn't the first time this has happened. I think not too long ago, this was maybe about like 3 or 4 weeks ago, you had, a woman, a little girl's track team, and one of the girls had, a short haircut, and some man came out and started yelling transphobic slurs at her, claiming, oh, well, you're a biological male, you're not allowed to compete, you shouldn't be allowed to compete against women. Now, mind you, this was a cis woman. This was a woman that was born a woman, still identifies as a woman, still lives day-to-day life as a woman. But because she didn't look feminine enough, according to this guy's standard, there's no way she could be a real woman. She must be transgender. And, this is the exact reason why I'm reluctant to join the feminist movement, because of how transphobic they are. I mean, it's the point where they're so transphobic that they're willing to discriminate and, berate the same people that they claim that they care about so much. This whole anti-woke, transphobic garbage is for the birds. Nothing but trash. I hate to break Godwin's law, but this is like this kind of like is reminiscent of what they did, in 1930s Germany, where they took out tools and they measured people's noses to see whether or not they were, a true German. Sorry, I'm trying to be politically correct right here, and I shouldn't, but, YouTube. Then you also have, some figures that say that certain people should have to wear special badges so that they know who's who and who's what. Really sad world we're living in right now. It's a shame that things had to come like this. But, to Katie Ledecky, congratulations. You're a true champion. Glad you're winning medals and breaking records. And to all those religious conservative out there that are still in disbelief about this, when are you going to admit that if a woman trains hard enough, that it's possible that she can and probably will beat a man eventually? That's all I have to say about this. You guys stay safe, stay metal, hail Satan, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.